everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to send event reminder emails from Google Sheets. So I am an owner of an event management company and I've recently organized an event. I create a record of all my participants' details who are taking part in my event in Google Sheets. So my objective is that as soon as I'm going to add the details of the participants in my Google Sheets, automatically to that participant, the email reminder should be forwarded a day before and an hour before the event on their Gmail account. Now doing this manually takes me a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation with Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software, and I have created the automation between Google Sheets and Gmail with the help of it. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to send event reminder emails from Google Sheets. So I am an event planner managing an upcoming event. I maintain Google Sheets that list event dates, attendees' name, and their respective email addresses. Instead of manually reaching out to each attendee to remind them about the event, I have automated this entire process with Pabbly Connect. By setting up reminder emails to send a day and an hour before the event, we ensure that the attendees are well informed and prepared, reducing no-shows and enhancing the overall event experience. This automation not only saves us time but also improves attendee engagement and satisfaction. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on this screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Send Event Reminder Emails from Google Sheets. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Okay. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow. And for that, click on this arrow. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select automations for event reminders as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Send Event Reminders Emails from Google Sheets, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means that action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what we are going to do is we are going to select it as Google Sheets. As in my Google Sheets, I am creating a record of my participants' details like the event date, first name, last name, email, phone number of the participant. In the spreadsheet, I will be creating a record of all the details. I want that as soon as I'm going to enter the details of the participant into the spreadsheet, automatically towards the participant, reminders of the event should be forwarded a day before and an hour before the event. So what I'm going to do is that is why for the trigger application, I've selected as Google Sheets. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row, as whenever the data is going to be entered into the spreadsheet right over here, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. Okay. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to create a connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After as I've copied the URL, I'm going to open the spreadsheet that I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is the spreadsheet that I've created with the help of Google Sheets, and I want to connect this spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect as I'm going to enter the details of the participant in this spreadsheet right over here. So to connect the spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect from the panel right over here, click to extensions button. Over here under extension, it says add-ons, click on it and select get add-ons right over here. As you're going to do that, on the search bar over here, search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Select Pabbly Connect Webhooks from here. As you can see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks has already been installed in my system. So I'm going to move forward. But if you have not installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, please do install it so that you can create a connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook. Okay. So as I've already installed, I'm going to move back and refresh this page from here. After refreshing the page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to extensions. Now from these options, you can see Pabbly Connect Webhooks has also been provided to us. I'm going to click on it. And from the given options, I'm going to click on this initial setup button. As I've clicked on initial setup button, this window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the webhook URL and the trigger column. For the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And for the trigger column, it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added. So in this spreadsheet, the trigger column is going to be column E because in this column, the final data is going to be added. So for the trigger column, I'm going to select it as column E and then I'm going to click on this submit button. As I've done that, it says setup configured successfully. This means the setup has now been done right over here. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So now the steps which I'm going to tell you are very important. So please do not forget to follow them. Go back to extensions and Pabbly Connect Webhooks again. Now from the given options, click on the send on event. Okay, over here as it is saying working, you can see right over here. As the loading is completed, I'm going to go back to extensions and Pabbly Connect Webhooks. You can see a tick mark is in front of send on event. As we are going to enter the data of the participant in the spreadsheet, this spreadsheet is going to send that data to Pabbly Connect. That is why it is very important to click on send on event. Okay. As we have done that, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see right over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we are going to do is we're going to test the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect successful or not. And how we're going to do that? By entering the dummy participant details in the spreadsheet and checking whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the participant details entered in spreadsheet or not. Okay, so we're going to enter the details. Firstly, it is asking for the first name of the participant. So for the first name of the participant over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as user4. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as testuser4@pabblytudes.com, and for the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. So as I filled in the details of my participant in this spreadsheet, now I'm going to open my workflow that I've created and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the event date, first name, last name, email and phone number of our participant or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response successfully. Let us tally the response. For the phone number, a dummy mobile number, first name as test, last name as user4, event date for the event date as 01/10/2024, that is 1st of October 2024. Email as testuser4@pabblytudes.com with the other details. So this means that Google Sheets is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever we're going to enter the details of our participants in the spreadsheet, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. Okay, our trigger setup is done now. Let us set up our action step. Now my objective is that as soon as I'm going to enter the details of the participants in the spreadsheet, I'm going to create a record of my participant details in the spreadsheet. A day before the event and an hour before the event, towards the participant whose details are added in the spreadsheet, the reminders of the event should be forwarded to them on their Gmail account. I want to send the reminders at two different occasions, a day before the event and an hour before the event. Now, as soon as I'm going to enter the data of the participants in the spreadsheet, what is going to happen? Pabbly Connect in this trigger is going to capture the response, and in this workflow, the trigger is going to be there. Okay, as we are going to receive the trigger response, I want to then create a delay in this workflow for a day before and an hour before the event on two different occasions. For creating the delay in this workflow, we are going to select our action application as delay by Pabbly. As with the help of delay by Pabbly, we can create the delay in this workflow that we are creating to the time that we want to. Okay, that is why for the action application, I'm going to select as delay by Pabbly, and for the action event, I'm going to select it as add delay time. As now I'm going to add a delay to this workflow as I want to send the reminders, the email reminders to my participants whose details I've added in my Google Sheets a day before and an hour before the event. Okay, so a day before the event means the event is on 1st of October 2024. So one reminder should be forwarded towards this participant on 30th September 2024, and one reminder should be forwarded as the event timing is 12 p.m. So one reminder is going to be forwarded towards the participant at 11 a.m. Okay, so there are going to be two different occasions on which the reminders are going to be forwarded, and according to that we are going to add delays in this workflow. Okay, after selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. As we're going to do that, it says how much delay do you want to put in workflow. Over here I'm going to select it as delay until, as I want to delay until a specific date and time. After that, it is asking for the delay date, till which date this workflow should be delayed until. So the date over here should be entered in a given format given to us right over here. So I'm going to copy this example from the help desk and paste it right over here. And now we're going to edit the date and time according to the delay that we want to apply. I want this first delay should be until a day before the event. So a day before event, the date of that day is 2024-09-30, that is 30th September 2024. This delay is going to be there until 30th September 2024, that is 2024-09-30 according to this format right over here. After that, it is asking for the delay time, that is HH, MM and SS format. The delay time right over here should be added in a UTC time zone format. As the event date and the time of the event is 12 p.m. So what we are going to do is, as we have to enter the time right over in a UTC time zone format only, let us convert our Indian Standard Time into UTC time zone format. For that, click on the UTC formatter link right over here. As we're going to do that, you will be landed towards this page in which we are going to convert the time zone. So the time zone, I'm going to search for the Indian time zone right over here. As I'm going to do that, you can see it says UTC to IST Indian. I'm going to click on it. Over here, for the time, I'm going to enter it as 12 p.m. Okay, so this is the Indian time right over here, and converted to UTC time comes as 5:30, as you can see right over here. So in this, I'm going to write it as 0530 and 00. Okay, so this is the delay date and time a day before the event. Okay, so this is the delay date and time right over here, and the time is in a UTC time zone format. So according to this given example, we have entered the delay date. Now I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. You can see the delay is successfully added. It says the delayed until date and time right over here, and the status comes as success. So now, as this delay has been added to this workflow, after we are going to receive the participant details in Google Sheets, the delay is going to be there until the day, a day before the event. Okay, so this workflow after this step is going to be executed a day before the event. Okay, as we have entered the delay right over here. So now, as the delay is added, we want to send email reminders. So for that, add another action step to this workflow. And for the action application, I am going to select it as Gmail. As with the help of Gmail, I will be forwarding email to my participants whose data I have added in my Google Sheets. Okay, I'm going to close the converter right over here. For the action event, I'm going to select as send email, as I want to send the email to my participants now. So I've selected my action event as send email V1. After selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on connect with Gmail. A new window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is saved process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As you can see that we successfully authorized Gmail to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, firstly it is asking for the recipient email address. On which email address do we want to send an email to? So in my record, I've created the record of the email addresses of my participants. So I want to send an email to my participants. So for the data of the recipient email address, we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we go to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is, as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see these are the previous step of this workflow. And as I'm going to click on this step right over here, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. Over here in our previous response, we have received the email address of our participant to whom we want to send an email to. So from my previous response, I'm going to select this data. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped, and as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Next, it is asking for the CC and the BCC. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. Afterwards, it is asking for the sender name. So for the sender name over here, I'm going to write it as Team Fantastic Event. So this is the sender's name that I want to send. For the email subject over here, I'm going to write it as, for the email subject, I've written it as reminder upcoming event on 01/10/2024. So this is the email subject. It is asking for the reply to. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. After that, it is asking for the email content type. I'm going to select it as plain, as I'm going to write a plain email content in this field right over here. Next, it is asking for the email content. Email content is the main body of our email. So for the email content over here, I'm going to write it as, so this is the email content that I want to write. Dear. Next to dear, I want the participant's name. So for the data of the participant's name, I'm going to map the data from my previous response. First name space the last name. I hope this message finds you well. This is a friendly reminder about the upcoming business event scheduled on the date and the time. We are excited to have you join us and look forward for a great experience together. Event details, date, time and the location as online meeting. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out. Thank you. We can't wait to see you soon. Best regards, Team Fantastic Events. So this is the email content that I want to send to my participant on their Gmail account. After that, it is asking for the name and the attachment. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. And then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, you will see over here the status comes as send right over here. So now I'm going to open my Gmail account and I'm going to check whether I have received a new email on my Gmail account or not. For that, I'm going to open my Gmail account. As you can see right over here, I have received a new email on my Gmail account. It says reminder upcoming event on 1st October 2024, Team Fantastic Events. Dear test user 4, I hope this message finds you well, and this is the email that we have written in our workflow has been forwarded to us. This email is forwarded to us right now because as over here we have clicked on the save and send test request button, the test has been forwarded. But in real time, what is going to happen, this workflow is then going to be executed after the delay time that we have added. That means a day before the event, this workflow is going to be executed after this step right over here. Okay, so what is going to happen? As we're going to enter the participant details in Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. And as we have added the delay after that, what is going to happen? This workflow is going to wait until the date time that we have entered in this delay right over here. And as the date and time is going to occur, what is going to happen? An email reminder is going to be forwarded towards the participant according to the delay that we have entered. So this is the first reminder I have sent. I want to send reminders at two different occasions. That is a day before the event that we have already set up. I want another reminder to be forwarded an hour before the event as well. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my action step and I'm going to apply another delay to this workflow for an hour before the event. Okay. So I've entered the delay, and for the action event, I'm going to select it as add delay time. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. It asks for how much delay you want to put in workflow. I'm going to select as delay until, and for the date and time, I'm going to enter the date and time according to the format given to us. So I'm going to copy it from here, paste it right over here. For the date, I'm going to make the changes. So this is the delay date, that is the event date 10/10/2024. That is the event date October 2024, 1st of October 2024. Okay. And the event time according to the UTC time zone was 5:30. Remember, we want to send this reminder an hour before. So for the time, I'm going to enter it as 4:30 because I want to send this reminder an hour before the event. An hour before the event means 4:30 according to the UTC time zone format. So I've entered the delay date and time right over here. And then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button to add the delay. The status comes as success and it says delayed until the date and time that we have entered. So as another delay has been added to this workflow, I want to send another reminder. So I'm going to add another action step. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Gmail again. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as send email v1 right over here. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. I have the existing connection, so I'm going to select this option. But if you want, you can add a new connection. Then I'm going to click on the save button. After that, it is asking for the recipient email address. For the recipient email address, I'm going to map the data of the email address of my participant from my previous response. After that, it is asking for the CC and the BCC. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. For the sender name over here, I'm going to write it as Team Fantastic Events. For the email subject over here, I'm going to write it as So this is the email subject, reminder upcoming event on 1st 10/2024. Next it is asking for the reply to, I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. For the email content, I'm going to select it as plain. Next it is asking for the email content. So for the email content over here, I'm going to write it as, so as you can see that this is the email content that I want to send. Dear, next to dear, I want the name of my participant. So I'm going to map the data of the name of my participant, first name space the last name, okay? And this is the same email content that I forwarded before. As a reminder, I'm going to send it again, okay? After that, it is asking you the file name and the attachment. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. And then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, we're going to receive a response for the status comes as send right over here. So now I'm going to open my Gmail account and I'm going to check whether another email has been forwarded to my Gmail account or not. As we have clicked on save and send test request, we are going to receive the email now. But in real time, this email is going to be forwarded to our participant an hour before the event, okay, as per the delay that we have applied. So now I'm going to open my Gmail account to check whether I've received the email or not. So I'm going to open my Gmail account. And yes, you can see right over here, I've received another reminder for dear test user. As you can see right over here, subject as reminder for the upcoming event. So as another reminder has been forwarded to me as a test, this means that we have successfully created an automation between Google Sheets and Gmail with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an event planner and I'm recently organizing an upcoming event. My objective is that as soon as I'm going to enter the details of my participants in Google Sheets and I'm going to create a record of my participant details in Google Sheets, automatically to those participants whose data I've added in my Google Sheets, what should happen is to them email reminders should be forwarded a day before and an hour before the event on their Gmail account. And for that, I've created this amazing automation between Google Sheets and Gmail with the help of Pabbly Connect. And this is how you create this amazing automation. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Hit on the like button, comment down if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.